But I do not believe business can save the world. Is there a necessary link between capitalism and climate change? Absolutely there is, in that I think it will be impossible to solve climate change, or perhaps very, very difficult to solve climate change without capitalism. We need capitalism's dynamism, its innovation, its ability to mobilize resources at scale, and we need it now. We do not have a lot of time. Now, let me caveat that. When I say capitalism, I mean a very different form of capitalism from the one we have now. You look at the capitalism we have now, in which firms have every incentive to pollute as much as they can, to not think about their long-term consequences on the world, and to treat the natural environment as a thing that can be disposed of. A capitalism that actively subverts regulation and politics, and that has persuaded itself, and here I generalize horribly, but many capitalists have persuaded themselves that as they do these dreadful things, they're doing the Lord's work, and that all that matters is maximizing profits. That kind of capitalism is one, I think, that is extraordinarily dangerous and has been a major contributor to the fix we find ourselves in now. But many people, including many of my students, and I teach at the Harvard Business School, think the answer then is to throw capitalism out the window. And I am sympathetic to that perspective. We are in a terrible fix, and the capitalism we have looks like a machine that's running off the rails. So to me, the big question is, can it be reformed? And to that, my answer is absolutely yes. That's why I wrote a book called Reimagining Capitalism. How can it be reformed? Well, I'm sure we'll have lots of chance to talk about this, but in brief, we need very strong regulations that make it expensive or impossible to pollute. We need a change in ideology so that business people understand, and many already do, and historically this was often taken to be the mission of business, that the goal of business is not profit. Profit is a means to an end. The goal of business is to build a thriving and healthy society on a healthy planet. So a massive shift in how we understand the goal of business. And, of course, a huge social and cultural and political movement to drive that change. The good news is many business people are already moving in this direction. I completely agree with Mark Carney that net zero is one of the great economic opportunities of our time. Many business people understand there is a strong business case for acting against the problem of climate change and are already moving. But I do not believe business can save the world, despite the rather misleading subtitle on the first edition, British edition of my book, adopted without my consent. That's a long story, it was some time ago. I do not think business can save the world. I think business can be a helpful ally. I think enlightened, purpose-driven business is central, but most businesses are going to need to be forced. So we need a capitalism with strong rules and regulations oriented at addressing the great problems of our time, of which climate change is, to my mind, plausibly the first and foremost. So yes, capitalism and the climate are intimately linked, but the solution lies in a reformed form of capitalism. Thank you.
To continue watching this video, click the link in the top left or in the description below. Or visit iai.tv for more debates and talks from the world's leading thinkers on today's biggest ideas.